Hello everybody and welcome to my brand new booktube channel. So today, to start off my channel, I thought I would do a book tag. And I know a lot of people say, oh, don't do a book tag for your first video because no one's gonna care and it's kind of common and not creative and blah blah blah. But it is 11 days until Christmas. I love Christmas. And I was skimming through some of my favourite booktubers' videos and I came across this tag called the Christmas Song Book Tag. And I love singing. I can't really sing, but this sounded like a really cool tag and so I thought I would do it to start my channel. So on that note, let's just get into it, and before we start I'm going to take off this Christmas hat because it is really starting to bug me. So, the first question, or the first song, is "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch." And for this you have to name a villainous character that you couldn't help but love. And for this I decided to go with Sebastian Morgenstern from the Mortal Instruments series because he is a villain, but he's a good villain. He does a lot of really bad things, but overall, in the end, he turns out, I don't want to spoil it, but if you've read this you know what I mean. He's a good villain, if that makes sense. He's good and bad. But I just loved him all throughout this series, despite the many bad things that he did. Song 2 is All I Want for Christmas Is You, and this question is, which book do you hope to see most under your Christmas tree? For me, it would personally be Miss Mayhem by Rachel Hawkins, which I'll put it here, but it's the second book in the Rebel Belle series, and I've been wanting to read it ever since I read Rebel Belle. I just haven't got around to getting it, and I don't actually think I'm going to get it, but I hope that I maybe get it, but I don't reckon, but please. Number 3, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Name a character that overcomes major obstacles and learns to believe in themselves. For this, I picked a pretty common answer, I think, but I decided to go with Katniss Everdeen from the Hunger Games series because she does actually have to overcome a lot in order to lead the rebellion in the third book, but like she has to survive 2 Hunger Games and overcome her dad's death before the start of this book, and she got to look after her sister and her mother and fend for herself and Gale and Peter and but in the end she becomes an amazingly brave character, and she's just so cool. Number 4, Santa Claus is Coming to Town. This question actually has 2 parts to it, so I'll start with part A. Which character do you think would be on top of the naughty list? Again, I'm going with a pretty common answer, but I decided to choose Voldemort from Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. If you've read this, which I reckon a lot of you have, you know how bad Voldemort is, but I was going to pick him for the first one actually, the Grinch one, but I think he should be on the naughty list because, I mean, after all, he's killed a lot of people. But no, he's a really good character as well, and yeah. And part 2, which character do you think would be at the top of the nice list? This was kind of hard for me to choose, but in the end I chose Jonas from The Giver because he's always trying to get other people to realise what they're doing and what they're trapped in, and he's really like nice and caring and selfless, and yeah, so definitely Jonas. And I really love this book. If you haven't read this book, read it now. Question 5, Frosty the Snowman. Which book just melts your heart? Any words needed? No, I didn't think so. Number 6, Feliz Navidad. Choose a book that takes place in a country other than your own. Seeing as I live in Australia, most of the books that I own take place in America or England or like one of those 2 sort of countries. And I have got a few books that take place in Australia, but I wanted to do something a little bit more unique and different. And so I decided to go with City of Glass because the majority of this book takes place in the country of the Shadowhunters called Idris or Idris. I don't actually know how you pronounce that. If you know how you pronounce that, leave a comment below. Let me know how you actually pronounce their country. But yeah, so the majority of this book takes place there, and it's a really good book, really good series. Another Cassandra Clare book in this tag, I know. But yes, so read. Yes, good country. Number 7, it's the most wonderful time of year. Which holiday-themed book do you use to spread Christmas joy? For this, I chose Let It Snow by John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren Miracle. This book has 3 different Christmas stories that all tie in together at the end. My favourite in this one would have to be the first one about the girl on the stranded train who sort of falls in love. But no, it's a really good series. It's really heartwarming. I read it last Christmas, loved it, probably reread it before Christmas this year. No, but it's a really, really good holiday-themed book that I love to use to spread the joy. Number 8, Sleigh Ride. Which fictional character would you choose to spend the holidays with? Doesn't have to be a love interest. I have always wanted to spend a Christmas day with the Weasley family from the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. They really emphasise the meaning of Christmas because they're not that rich. To them, Christmas isn't really about presents. For them, it's more about how much you can give as opposed to how much you can get, and I loved that in this series. And yes, so the Weasleys are my favourite. My favourite character is actually Ron. So yes, definitely love to spend Christmas with the Weasleys. Number 9, Baby, It's Cold Outside. Which book that you didn't like would you sacrifice to a fire to warm yourself up in the cold? Without a doubt, I would sacrifice New Moon. I hated this book. Bella, just get over it. Please, get over him. Now, you're a strong, independent woman. You could have gotten over him. This could have been the end of the series and the whole wide world would have been much happier. I'm sorry, I really don't like Twilight. I've read the series, I just don't like it. And the final question, number 10. Do you hear what I hear? Which book do you think everyone should read? I decided to choose a book that I found, well, a series that I found really, really easy to read. I flew through it in the matter of a week, maybe 2 weeks. And I know that everyone who read it would enjoy it. They'd find something in it to like, or something in it that they could relate to. And that book series is the Selection series by Kira Cass. It's there's now 4 books. The Selection, the Elite, the One, and the Air. But it's a really good book for getting people out of a reading slump. I remember I read this when I was in a massive reading slump about 6 months ago, and I was out of the reading slump as soon as I finished this. And it's just, I reread it. It's such an amazing book series. It's so easy to read, and I just know that anyone would like it. So if you haven't read the Selection series, I suggest you go read it now. So that's basically it for this video. I hope you enjoyed my first video, and if you'd like to see more of my videos, maybe hit the subscribe button. That would be pretty cool. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment below some of the questions the books that you might have used for these questions, and how you pronounce the country Shadowhunters are from. I really don't know, and I really need help. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video.